Got it. All right. I think we are live now. Just make sure the audio is fine. I hope it is. All right. So what are we gonna do today? What is it? So you are in the wrong Dmax. So Mag. Okay. I was trying to do these things. All right. So hello everyone. Welcome to the video. So what are we gonna do today? Today we are going to build a Neovim plugin for PHPStan. So PHPStan is nothing but it's a CLI tool that helps us to find bugs in a PHP projects without actually running it. Without writing test itself. Yeah. It means PHP static analyzer. So just nothing but a non-compiler language trying to act like a compiler language. That's all it is. That's what my definition of why these tools exist here. All right. So this is my application and it's fine. It works. Hope if you're not aware of what PHPStan is, you can just go through this phpstan.org website. You will get to know what it is. And then it's an open source tool. You can find it in GitHub as well. PHP static analysis tool. Discover bugs in your code without running it. That's what we claim it. So apart from this tool and all, it has one specific and one particular interesting thing for me, which is it doesn't depend on any other composer packages. It's like all it requires is PHP 7 or 8. Isn't it good? I think yes, it is. I feel yes. All right. So this is all about what is PHPStan. Let's see how it works, or actually we can get out of it. Okay. Getting started. All we have to do, it's all started from Composer, right? So let's require a PHPStan here. Yeah, just only one package. It's a quick installation. That's all we have to do. And then we are ready to analyze our projects. But yeah, it got installed. I don't think I have a source and test folder, but I have a source app test folder. So I'm gonna test, since it's a Laravel application, the app and tests out there. So I'm gonna analyze this using the PHPStan. Yeah, boom, it starts analyzing it. Probably only one. Oh, it's memory issue. Increase your memory limit configuration or run with memory limit option. Okay, I can do that. And it's a great. error message, I would say. And it helps how to solve it. Of course, 256 MB megabytes I'm allocating to it. It's actually analyzing it. Oh, it found around 11 errors. So this is a file. Twitter authorized controller initiated class Twitter OAuth not found. Class not found, but I'm still calling it. Twitter callback controller. Twitter OAuth is not found. Instantiated Twitter OAuth not found. And here, this file has a tons of issues. Parameter 1 post of a method in the driver Instagram post is not contravariant with the parameter app model post. Actually, it looks like this is not being used or imported in the Instagram driver file. Let's see. And looks like the same. The second one, parameter post method of invalid type, class not found. Okay, and so on. It finally, we got some list of errors per file, right? Somehow we should figure out a way to get all these error messages and populate it into our Neovim. Somehow we have to integrate it. How can we do that? That's the next question. First of all, how can we write a plugin to a Neovim? What's the best way to do that? How do we can add a plugin? How do we can create a new plugin to a for a Neovim? First thing. That's the first question we have to solve. The second thing, how we are going to interact with the PHPStan and the Neovim. Third, this is the kind of output which PHPStan gives us. How we are going to parse this and show it here um, in the file as a somehow we have to integrate it to the Neovim, and we have to show those messages here, whatever the error message, right, that has to be shown here in this Neovim. All right, so let's figure out these things one by one. Right, Neovim has a as an embedded language within it, which is called Lua. Lua is an embedded language. It can be embedded in any kind of programming languages or an application, and it's very simple and effective language. And most, it's kind of a functional um, language like a JavaScript. It doesn't have support. It doesn't support classes and the tables, functions. Obviously, the functions. So, and it's a pretty simple language to learn about. And we are back again. some network glitches. All right, so let's start build this thing. So we all know that the Neovim's config is exist in the home folder under the .config nvim, and any .vim or any .lua is going to be the our configuration file. In that file, I mean in that folder, in the Neovim configuration folder, you have to create a new folder called lua, and let's create our plugin here. So I'm gonna create a file called PHPStan.lua. So let's just test this whether this works or not. So let's just print like hello world. In the Neovim we have an um, command to execute a Lua file using this colon Lua file and then $sign for the current file, and you can see the hello world is being printed. But there is another way we can require this file as a PHPStan that will execute this the same script. So just for a demonstration, I'm just loading in some invalid file. You can see it will look for that particular file in these many directories and then locations, whether that file is exist or not. If exist, it will load that. So that's how it works. So for now, it's a different topic. For that's now we know that the .config neovim lua phpstan.lua is a file that we are going to create our plugin, and we can load that, or we can simply run that single file to execute the phpstan command, whatever the command we used here, and parse the results and render those results into the Neovim's UI. All right. So for that, the first thing is all we know, we have to run this command. Somehow we have to run this command and get the results. So there is an amazing plugin called Plenary in the Neovim ecosystem that helps us to run a system command asynchronously, even synchronously. That's technically. That provides a nice, decent API for us to interact with the system commands. So plenary job is the one that we are going to use now. So let's copy this. I'm requiring this plenary job. What's the command? The command is bin php stan. What's the args? It's a good question. So here the args are PHPStan analyze and then the file or the folder. But here, when we creating a plugin, we should work based on the file, whatever the particular file that we are adding or editing, that we are modifying. That file has to be analyzed, and we need that report. Then we can show it on the UI. Right? Whatever the file. We are not going to deal with the entire project when it comes to the plugins something like this. Maybe that depends on some other scenarios, but here, especially for this use case, we should run we can run this command on a single file whenever it gets modified, or simply the file is being changed or written into the file system. So the first command is analyze, right? Say for example, this is a company controller. This resides in, so vendor bin PHPStan analyze app HTTP controllers company controller. This is how we should run the command. So the command is going to be the, okay, I don't have any errors. Okay, let's try with other one. I guess we can use this. Social media driver Instagram. Okay. So let's give that path. Like libraries, social media, driver, Instagram, PHP. We got 8 errors this moment. So this is going to be our command, and the vendor bin PHPStan is the command, and analyze is a first argument. The second argument is the file path. So here is the thing. So whatever the file that we are focusing on is going to be that file, right? So that there is a method um, in a Neovim to get the file path of the current buffer. See, Neovim get the relative path of a buffer in Lua. Okay. Look at this file name vim.fn.expand percentage colon t is going to be give us the file name. If you need a full path, colon p. Let's try execute this. So driver Instagram. So can use this Lua. Let's print this vim.fn.expand percentage colon t should give us the file name. We gotcha. And p is going to give us the full path, and the last one is dot is going to give us the relative path. That's exactly what we need as a second argument. So here the second argument is going to be vim.fn.expand the percentage colon dot. But I don't know. Looks like plenary as another way of getting a relative path from a buffer. Nice. Plenary path lib. Okay. Oh, it's just this is what it is going to be, the current buff. My bad. Actually, I'm looking for this one. So Nvim. It looks like. It's fine. Today it's for YouTube. Where is it? Get name. Okay. So vim.api.nvim.puff get name. This is going to be our vim.api.nvim get buff name, isn't it? Nvim buff get name. Nvim buff get name. Sorry. Buff get name. Vim.api.nvim get current buff. Current buff always equal to 0. Fine. And cwd. So for this vim.fn.c a.cwd. Do print vim.fn.cw. Okay. Get cwd. Alright. I don't need any nv. So I'm just returning the output here. So let's go to our Instagram file and do required this should give us an output. No. Let's print something. Okay. Executing the PHPStan command. Okay. Why? Nothing does. Because it was cached or something in Neo in a Luba. So we have to rerun this. You can see now we got that table. So somehow it was executed and something was returned. So we can inspect this. So for every time we have to re-render or reopen the Neovim. Look at this. Now we got some message. The same message what will be seen in the front end. Alright. We gotta parse this message. Can we parse this message, do you think? Do you think can we parse this message? Of course, yes, we can do, but there are some better ways. let's see. Output format. The PHP stan as an output format of a JSON, the pretty JSON. So that will help us to error format is pretty JSON executes, and now you can see we got a nice JSON. And there is another nice way. Is raw. That's how it's a it's a very simple and effective format how this works. How the Neovim works with the finds, search, and other stuff. But even though we are not up for this one, we are going with this the JSON format. So do you understand what we have done? We have added another parameter error format or another argument or an option to it. So let's add that here. Can add it here or here, that's fine. Format equal to JSON. So here it can be simply JSON. That's kind of a simplified version of it. Now it will be a string, I guess. It's a single line. Let's close this. Reopen it. Instagram. Lua. Execute the PHPStan. It's executing it. You can. Now we got the status code 1, and this is a pretty little table of a simple string. Just gives lines, and in the first line we have the JSON, and this JSON has to be parsed, and hope you see in the JSON format here. Discuss. So starts with the totals. You can see how many global errors, how many file errors, and then have the key of files, and then it's another JSON object that the key as the file path and the error count, and then the array of message. You can see the array of message. Each message itself is an object that contains a message and the line number, and then whether it is ignorable or not, and the identifier. And there are some interesting stuff. MB. Oh, sorry. Error format pretty JSON and memory the image 256. Oh, here we can see we got the 11, and you can see the one other extra key in the message interface. It's a tip. Can go to this and find some more information. This the identifier, kind of a unique key for it. I guess we should show this in our error message as well. All right. So let's make it this real quick. And there is another thing. So once it was executed, it's just nothing, and then we should convert it as a plugin. So at this moment, just one file is enough for this, and we've seen it was blocking it to unblock it or to run it in a asynchronous way. We should use the start, and if mm, not equal to 0, oh sorry, it doesn't have these things, right? Return end. Okay, I missed the then, and why don't you add the then? All right, because the return value, if it was 0, then we are fine with that. I don't want any cheap viewers, buddy. Thank you. So we need to parse this response. Is there any other way to get a result? I don't think so. Okay, so for this moment, let result equal to j dot result. Oh, sorry, it's local. That's fine, completely fine. So result and local the the response equal to the result of 0. Remember, it stores in a table, and the first element of the table is a string. And I forgot one thing, that Lua tables all starts with 1. The mystery is solved. And this is a response. So the next thing is we have to parse this response, and for that Neovim has a method to parse local adds not errors. We can parse it from here. Vim dot json dot, I think it's parsed. Let's print this. Vim dot inspect of it must be a table. Instagram. You're running it asynchronously. Oh, an expected symbol. What is it? Unexpected symbol. Where? So help frame dot json. Oh, it's decode, not parts. All right. Let's see. No. No. Oh. Okay. I think. Uh. If it is a zero, then we have to return it. Otherwise, we won't. That's my bad. Driver, Instagram, Lua, require PHPStan. We got it. Now we got the table. Now we should parse the files, and if we got this, the first one would be ours. That we can simply look through it. For each key is a file name. We can get the buffer based on it, and we got the messages. Is an array of message, but how we are going to present it to the UI. Here comes the another interesting stuff. LSP diagnostic. We have an LSP diagnostics as well as the default diagnostics as well, diagnostics API. So let's see how this diagnostic API works in the Neovim. We should create a namespace. Anything that reports diagnostics is referred to below as a diagnostic producer. Diagnostic producer need only follow a simple steps report. So create a namespace. Note that the namespace must have a name. Anonymous namespace will not work. Okay. Optional configure options. It's an optional. We leave it. Generate the diagnostics. We generate those diagnostics. It's the diagnostics for the buffer using vim.diagnostic.set. That's it. That's all we have to do. So set local list. Where is set? Yeah, here it is. Vim.diagnostic.set accepts four options, four arguments: namespace, buffer number, diagnostics, and the options. The namespace we have to create it. That's what we seen it here. And Vim create namespace and the name. So let's create that one. So local namespace equal to Neovim create name space. What is it? So PHPStan. That's it. I why? Okay. Should be Neovim dot. So as I told earlier, we have to find the buffer and set the array of messages. That's what the structure we got. There are a list of files. Each file name is in a as a key, and it has an array of messages. This has to be published. So we can find a buffer number, something like, how do we look through the files? Let's find out Lua loop able iterate. Sorry, it's called iterate. I in pairs. So I is the key. Key value. This is the best one, I guess. So this is pretty simple. So we have to so instead of it's a response. Sorry, it should be response dot files. So we don't need to worry about these errors. We worry about the file. We have to look through the file, and this is kind of a this is a file path, and this is um, error. Okay, call it error. I don't need this, but so what's our API? It's vim dot diagnostics dot set. Set the namespace. We got the namespace. We need to find the buff name. Nvim buff get get number. Get buff and buff and now buff and our okay. Nvim lua get buffer number by path. Current buffer file path. No, it's a path. Get the buffer number. I think this is it. So buff number, it's file path. Okay, so we have this lua print vim dot fn dot buff and One. It's good. It works. So, and then the diagnostics, right? Namespace, we got the buffer number, we got diagnostics, we have to figure out, and then options is obviously options. Option. So diagnostics is nothing but an array of Vim of diagnostic. What is Vim of diagnostic? So Vim dot diagnostic is nothing but a table that contains a list of information, the buffer number, the line number, and then end line number from starts from where ends to where, kind of. Then column, start column, the final column, severity, and the message, the source of the diagnostic. What is the source of the diagnostic? Is it something? And we have the code. We have the code. We have the tip. I think we can make use of those things, right? And then the namespace. So I guess we can do it. So the error here, what we meant as error, this is the files. It's error. No. Oh no 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 no. We are currently looping through this file, and then this object. This is the table that we are getting as a error. It error dot messages. So let's create a diagnostic first. So local diagnostics equal is a table, right? So for message in I pairs of error dot messages do. So what did we did? We did errors dot messages. We are looping through it. Each one is a message, and then we have to construct another um, message or a diagnostic equal to is a table. This is the table that accepts the buff nr. So okay, create a buff nr equal to, we have that here. So this is a buffer nr, and the lnum. Lnum equal to the message dot the line, and we don't have the end line number, we don't have a column, we don't have a end line, but we have a severity. But how do we know whether it is severity or not? So at this moment we can use the ignorable whether it is true or false. If it is true, then we can go with the severity. These are the severity we have: error, warning, info, and hint. So we can make use of these two, error and warning. If the ignorable is false, then we can use the warn, true, then warn. So ignorable, this is true. So see, we already, right, severity, sorry, severity kind of message dot ignorable. Yeah. um Forget that. So do inline it ternary or not? I don't know. Yeah, looks like it has ternary. If this vim dot diagnostic dot severity ignorable, then it's won. Or vim dot diagnostic dot severity dot error. Right? No? I think it should be wrapped. No. Mm, okay, we can do like this at this moment for this. So message dot server ready. Another one. Then okay, with some moment. Yeah, I'm back. All right. So message dot ignorable. If it is true, then diagnostic dot severity is equal to vim dot diagnostic dot severity dot on. Else this is fine. And most important thing is the message. So message dot message, isn't it? Message dot message. And where is that diagnostic? Here. Severity done with the message source. Source is a string. I think you can give this tip, but it's an optional one. But that's fine. Source, I'm not sure whether it is right or wrong. Then the code message dot identifier. Message dot identifier is a card, and the last one is the namespace. We have the namespace. So we built the diagnostic, and we should append it to the diagnostic. Now table dot append. So table append lua. Okay, table dot insert. Sorry, it's my bad. Insert into the diagnostics. So diagnostics. All right, it's time to test. You ready? First run. Nothing happens. Well, why? Okay. Um, it's debug this. Like, what is it? So the response and forcing the error as of file path. Okay. Finally, print setting the diagnostics. Right. No messages. Got the response. I got the response, but I didn't. I couldn't look through it. Why? The response dot files. This is the response. This is the files. So vim dot inspect of response dot files would say this is a file. Got it. But why I couldn't look through this? Why it wasn't iterated? Or iterate in Lua. This is Lua. Adults. The generic for iPad is not a. That's all it is. For file path and then I pairs of response dot files, and I'm doing this. Why? No, doesn't. It doesn't iterate over the table. Why? is it? How is this? How's this? We just decoded this, and we got the response. No typo. Not sure about it. Is it because of this? What is? Just got the response. Nothing else. Right? Why? What am I missing? Mm-hmm. Oh, key, comma value, and iPads of response to print key end. Got the response. Okay. Pads and iPads work in a different way. That's fine. Got it. We got it. So instead of that, we got the file, and instead of this, it should be something like response of file path dot messages. That's it. That's it. Uh, it's I. So the local message is equal to response of file path of messages of I. Oh, still this works. Finally, Vim scripts function must not be called in a Lua loop callback. So I guess finally it just reached. Look at this. We got a notification as well. Now this works. Let's look at the messages. Posting the errors of this file. Got it. We got them. Don't need these things anymore. So somehow the iPad isn't working. I'm not going to debug those things. We'll see later. Right. So let's move this to a separate function called local parse output. Okay, this got the response. Okay, and this is what it is. This is what it is. So I'm gonna parse output of the response. So there is another one, Vim dot schedule wrap. It should not be the local. Okay. Mm. So anyway, it's running as an asynchronous, right? We started and then it's an asynchronous job, and on exit, the asynchronous job parses the response, and we are printing into the console is fine, but writing into the UI again that needs a wrap. So that's what we're doing here, and we just wrapped it. Global variable in a lowercase. Uh, Actually, it should be something like this. Yeah, now we get rid out of the warnings, so that's fine. Um, we'll see. We'll see later. We'll fix this later. We have to, right? So yes, for each file we are publishing this. So I think should work now. Oh, still parsed output. Okay. So for this one, maybe since it's an asynchronous function. Oh, I didn't check actually what it is. What's the error it was? Attempt to index a nil value on the line number 23. Attempting a nil value. Yes, because it's response.files. Again, now it's on line number 24. 24, yeah. Again, column is required. That's fine. So here, call is required. The now you can go with the 0. Yay! Look at this. We got the error messages. We got the error messages. Isn't it good? looks like all the messages belongs to this online. Even it has 4 messages, and this has another 4 messages. And look at it. We got the decent code, and some of some of them are warning, some of them are errors. This is good. And what about our tip? This tip, it's in the Twitter callback. In the Instagram, we don't have any tip. Okay, so you can go to the Twitter callback controller. Twitter callback controller. Twitter callback controller. Let's call this PHPStan. Yeah. Now, got it. Where's the link? We got our stuff. Uh, it is in warnings. I don't know why. Let's see. The diagnostics got source. The source. I didn't. Shut up. The source. But that's okay. Anyway, let's check once whether we are setting it up right. Tip. TIP tip. It's the source. It's there. Inspect of. So it's Twitter callback controller going in the old. Got it. See. Yes, it got the source, but it didn't render. But maybe I'm wrong. Need to know about this. Just simply putting it to the on the each line instead of. Oh, look at this. Here actually shown here. This renders. Okay, only for that kind of. Only to the multi-line class instantiation has the issue. Get this shown on the correct line. It's fine. All right. Finally, we got this. But so let's say somehow. Okay, we have. I got it fixed. Now we got another message. I should get another message. Let's try this again, but it's still showing the old response. How can we do this? How can we um, re-render this? Let's see that. So in Lua, let's always start. It's a table. What I'm gonna do is let's just move this to a method of our plugin. So we can call it as analyze equal to function of what? This. All this. And we should return the m. So now go to the data callback. If you call the same, it doesn't gonna work. Have to call this analyze. Now it's a plugin and we are calling a method of a plugin, right? Got some error. Yeah, got it. Right? So now I reverted this back and then I saved it. Running it again. Now we should get another message on the line number 20. Yes, we got it. Alright. So there is another print. We don't need this. Alright. Now, how can you make this run whenever we save this file? It should clear all this diagnostics and then create a new set of messages. Simply, we have to call this analyze method whenever we save it. That's what we're doing, right? So, let's call a create a function for setup. So this setup will take care of binding the we can add a auto command, right? Can create an auto command like this, right? We can create an auto command. First thing is the table of the events. For our case it's buff right, uh, post buff right, post right, buff right post, buff right post. After saving, we have to do this, right? What's the second one? Second one is a table. It has a pattern and it has a callback. So what's the pattern? Pattern is nothing but star.php. That's it. What's the callback? Callback is going to be the analyze. That's it. Let's test this. I saved it, but it didn't work. It didn't show up. See the Twitter callback. I saved it. I didn't get it. This comes from different one. Don't mind. This comes from different. Okay. Let's call this Lua analyze. Now we got the error messages. But it wasn't because I saved it. So to do that, I should call the setup method. If now I saved it, you can see that Did you see that? That particular error message in this was gone. Now I'm saving it. Now it's running in background and now we got this message back. So now we should add this to our Neovim init file. You have to load the setup. I mean, call the setup. Lua. What is it? PHPStan dot setup. That's it. Now, Instagram, Twitter, hold back. If I saved it, should pop up. No? No? Oh, PHPStan. Is that fun? Sorry. It should be in the required. Twitter, call back. I saved it. Now it's running in the background and we got it. It's boom. And instead of, why don't we get this after we open up the file? So it's it has another event buff read, buff open, buff load. What is it? Buff read post. Let's add this to our list of the events. First one is read post after reading it. Right? Even we can add a pre itself because this is going to be the, we're not going to Twitter fallback. Now it should pop up. Yeah, we got it. Got this as a message. This comes from the PHPStan, isn't it? I think we should give a unique name. See? Boom. I don't know why they are. Oh, now we got it. That's fine. So that's it, Macaulay. We have our simple wrapper Neovim plugin for the PHPStan is ready. Is it for now? See you.